Hi guys, just thought I'd bring you up to speed. I've been working on a lot of the paintings recently that you've all been seeing on Facebook, and also on Instagram and that sort of thing. So I decided I thought I'll bring you up to speed with what I've been doing in the background as well, because it's not just the paintings that I do. It's a bit more things, like you've seen some of my drawings and that sort of stuff. So I thought what I'll continue doing is just working on this drawing that I've done a little while back, last year I think it was, and I've put it to one side for a day where I get a bit more time to sort of work on it. So what it is that I'm doing at the moment, I'm just using some like really fine tip pens, just so I can sort of work on some more detail on the lines, just to sort of bring it up off the paper. So what I've been doing, as you can see, is just been sort of like doing the eyes, the hair, around sort of like the nose, and the facial and the ears and that sort of thing, working on little features. So I'm kind of working on that at the moment, so I thought I'll bring you in and show you that I'm not just doing the paintings, I am doing other things. I was chatting with a guy on Instagram today about, various things when you do sort of these drawings, like whether it's Disney or Marvel, that sort of thing, how you get around the copyrights, because obviously it's an infringement. You get caught doing this sort of work and then you sell it, there are copyrights that are in place and you are liable for being sued. So the way that he said that, how he explained it, was that you can sort of do the work but you can't replicate the work and sell it many times. You can alter the drawing a little bit, you can make it your own, but the character itself belongs to Disney or Marvel if you're doing Marvel works. So I thought, well, what you can do is actually put the artist's name on your work, just to acknowledge that it is his work. That way it's just out of respect as well, to the artist, because let's face it, a lot of these artists out there, they work hard to create these characters, which we all grew up with. So I'm not going to bore you too much with all the jollop of all that, but I just thought I'd share with you some of the work that I do other than just the paintings. So I do commission work, I do a lot of stuff that, that if people ask me can I do it, yeah, I'll throw my hand. I'm not the greatest artist out there, I don't claim to be. I do it for the fun of it, as a hobby. I enjoy it, and since this lockdown I thought, why not just sort of throw my hand back on the pen and paper. So this is why recently I've emphasised the fact that I'm doing the paintings as part of, or the majority of the work that I'm doing, and the artwork side of it I'd like to sort of pick up again. Anyway, so without further ado, let's just get cracking and carry on with this drawing, and I'll bring you back down onto the page so you can actually see what it is I'm actually doing as we go. So let's just bring that around that way. There we are. Hopefully you'll be able to see the work as I progress it, but let's not bore you to tears. Hope you guys are all keeping well out there at the moment anyway. It's been some really trying times for us all, and I know for sure it's affected me personally. Some of you know, but I guess this is life as we are beginning to sort of know it at the moment, isn't it? Anyway, enough talk about all that. On the brighter side of things, this is why I like doing this kind of work. It's colourful, it's challenging, and I've got a lot of time on my hands, so let's just make use of it. As I say, I hope you guys are all keeping well, and let's hope that you enjoy what I'm doing at the moment. But like I say, all I'm doing is I'm just going over the lines, the pencil lines, and I don't want to sort of ruin the drawing too much by sort of, you know, going over with a thick black pen and taking away the pencil lines too much, because I personally like the pencil lines being kept in the drawing. The reason I like to do that is because it's those pencil lines that brought this character to life off the paper. And I think when you see these well-known artists, like, you know, these cartoon character like artists that are out there, they start off a drawing and they use all these like blue pens and pencils and whatever, and they start to establish the character on the paper, and they do it by swirling around all these circles and odd shapes and that, and then they start to form the character, and they work off of those blue pencil lines. And to me, I think that's all part and parcel of the enjoyment of seeing these little characters, or cartoon characters or Marvel characters, come to life. And I always say, you know, if you can leave the pencil lines on there, do so, because it is all part and parcel of building up a greater scheme of things with these, like these portraits or pictures and that. And I think it just keeps it sort of like as real as you can get it, sort of thing. So it's not about being sloppy. I think it's more about just sort of like letting it be what it is. Some people like to sort of colour in, and like they, you know, they go through these phases of colouring over and over and over until they've filled every little nook and cranny. With me, it's more of a scribble, and I find sometimes that these little scribbles and scribble lines and all that are quite defining, really. But as I say, let's hope you enjoy this process as I go through it with you. All I'm doing at the moment is, like I say, I'm using a fine pen, a really fine tip, and I am literally just touching the paper. I'm not, you know, putting pressure on the pen. I'm just literally just kissing the paper with the tip, and just to sort of like bring these lines up, because I still want to keep the emphasis on the pencils that I used to colour this in, and I don't really want to take the emphasis of the pencil away too much with putting too much darkness from the black pen. So I'm going to do it very, very delicately. A lot of people will be tempted to sort of like go, oh, you know, why didn't you fill that eyebrow, or, you know, and colour it in with the black pen. I can almost feel people's sort of views creeping out the camera at me, saying, hey, what are you doing, you know. But no, I just do it, you know. Everyone's different in their creations and drawings and their artwork, and I think that's to be respected. Everyone's got their own views, criticisms, whatever you want to call it, and at the end of the day, it's what makes art what it is. It's all about personal characteristics in what you see. So yeah, it's most importantly, it's about having a bit of fun. So as long as you're enjoying what you're doing, it's not a problem. Okay, right, so far I'm just sort of touching in on the hair, just bringing this, you know, bringing this up to speed a little bit. If you'll see in a minute, I'll try and sort of bring it in close as possible to show you what I'm doing. I'm just going into the darker areas with this fine pen and just putting a little wispy bit in there, just to sort of emphasize and make the hair stand out, because this is, after all, what we're trying to achieve, is getting the picture off the paper. I mean, I'll be honest, I'll gladly admit, you know, it's all trial and error, with my drawings anyway, with my artwork. I don't claim to be any you know, famous artist or whatever else. I just enjoy it for what it is. Sometimes I go wrong, sometimes I do something and I think, oh, you know, I've overdone it. And that's why it's good to sometimes stop, lift it up, look at it, see what you think about it, and then carry on. But try not to overemphasize things. If it's like looking like it's taking it away from where you want the picture to be, stop. There's no rules with art anyway. At the end of the day, it's all about making it what it is, and that is exactly. I mean, it's like now I'm just putting these little tiny wispy bits on the end of his hair, so it kind of brings it again. It brings another transition to the drawing. It's learning. It's constantly adapting your drawings and the stuff that you like to do. Because after all, who said you've got to do this, you've got to do that? It's your drawing, your design. I've always loved art, and I've always enjoyed creating characters or, you know, different things. I remember as a kid I used to love drawing this particular thing, like, you know, when graffiti came out, and you see people going out on the streets. I used to love looking at the work and having a go at doing some of that myself, a bit mischievous, but you know, I was never a great graffiti artist at all. Never claimed to be, never continued with it. It was just got picked up a spray can and damaged someone's wall or fence or whatever it was at the time, or a garage door, and that was as far as it went. You know, never done anything further with it. And it's the same with my own drawings. I mean, it's like with my own drawings, I love it because I can do them at my own pace, and especially at the moment. I mean, you know, things are a million miles away from what we know as normality, and this is kind of bringing some normality back. As I say, I've been going over these lines just to gently bring it up to speed, and there you are. Take a deep breath as he goes along. Okay. There's a lot of truth in that, actually, what I just said about holding your breath in some occasions when you're doing drawings and stuff. It's quite funny, you know, the little habits that you tend to find yourself doing when you're drawing or you're painting. I used to love Bob Ross. I don't know, you know, maybe I'm old school, but he made art and drawing and stuff so interesting. Like, you know, he'd bring things to life, didn't he? I mean, that guy was phenomenal. But again, you know, some people are just naturally talented, and they can train their eye to see things that other people don't always see. You know, and understanding movement of colour and stuff like that, and depth and distance and whatever else. You know, it's all the perspective and concepts of understanding what you're doing, why you're doing it, sort of thing. Okay, right. I've done like the face and the ears. Just sort of brought them up a little bit. So I'm just going around this now, around the legs. As I say, the only reason I'm doing this is literally just to finish this picture off because it's been sitting around for a little while. As I say, I think it was, I believe last year, I was asked by a friend, can you do a drawing for me? And I said, yeah, you know, I'll give it a go. So I started it last year. Yeah, it's a long time to do a drawing for someone, I know. But like many things in life, you know, things come up, and you know, last year wasn't a great year, and as you know, we didn't get to sort of do too much, so this was put on the back burner. Apologies to the person that asked for this drawing. It will be with you soon, I can assure you. I just wanted to finish it off. Let's just get myself a little, because the thing is, I don't want is to smear and smudge this work over this side. So what I tend to do is get a little piece of paper so that I don't smudge the work as I'm going. But yeah, as I say, I have got an Instagram account and a Facebook account. It's Eon's Art Designs at Instagram and Ian's Art Designs on Facebook. You can look me up on there. Most of the stuff that's on there at the moment are the paintings, the Dutch pour, acrylic pouring, pour paint, whatever you want to call it, that I've done. Again, I found it really intriguing seeing other people sort of doing their own designs and that. And I've never really been a great fan of painting, if I'm being honest. I mean, I can do painting, I have done painting, but it's not one of my strengths. I think drawing's always been one of my main strengths. I started drawing when I was like, wow, 7 years old, 8 years old. I used to, if I was out with, you know, work at school, or I'd be doodling all the time, like little drawings that I'd do, and I used to give them all away to people, you know, like just for the sheer sake. I mean, like I say, at school I wasn't the greatest at art and stuff, but it was something that I thoroughly enjoyed doing. And again, you know, it was more so much about the end, just escapism, I think. And that's what I found myself doing, was using the art as a way of getting away from what was going on around me. I think we all need that little room in our lives to sort of, you know, have a bit of time out, and that's what art does for me. Right, so all I'm doing here again is I'm very, very gently and lightly going over the pencil lines. I don't, like I say, I don't want to emphasize too much with the black. I just want to touch on bits of little areas that stand out, just to sort of get the drawing sort of brought up. Like I say, it's just stopping, looking what you're doing, and taking your time, because it takes one little mistake and it can ruin the whole thing, the whole aspects of the drawing. So I try not to, literally, like, you know, kitten gloves. Yeah, the videos I will be uploading as and when I can. It's easier for me to do a video rather than it is to do live, because when it's live you've got sort of like a lot going on, people asking you questions and sort of thing, you know. Not that I've got a problem with doing that, but I just find the videos easier. and I can upload them onto my site, onto my Instagram account, and Facebook and whatever else. Probably won't be so much on Facebook, it'll probably be more so on my Instagram or my TikTok or YouTube channel. And yeah, you know, my work is commission work. If people ask me to do stuff, you know, the reality is I do it for the enjoyment as much as selling my work. And you know, it does take time. These things do take time. The paintings that I do, many of you have probably seen. Let's just stop for a minute and I'll show you just quickly some of the ones that I've done just recently. This is a fresh one. This was only done the other night. So this is like on a really sort of nice grey background. It's got quite a lot of colour in there. I've also added a bit of glitter into the paint just to give it some shine and make it sort of stand out a bit more. But I'm really pleased with the results of this one. The other one, which is still curing at the moment, is still slightly wet, as you can see just there. But this one, another vibrant one. So these are nice size paintings actually. These are quite decent size canvas. Again, the colours are so vibrant. I mean, really, the camera doesn't do it justice when I sort of take pictures of them. But yeah, so as I say, there's some of the recent ones that I've done. There's another one that's curing at the moment. That's still sort of drying and that, so that'll be ready in another day or two. But I've done sort of 3 in one hit, almost immediately after each other, you know, one after another. Really pleased with how they turned out actually. They come out quite nice. Okay, right, so what I'm doing now is just all I'm doing is just literally continuing to gently highlight and go over these pencil lines. I don't want to smear or ruin the picture by sort of placing my hand all over the place, because especially down this bottom half, I use this, you know, HB pencils and that, and obviously, you know, they smudge quite easily. So once this is done, I'm going to get this put into a frame, and I will be trimming this, cutting it all out, and then putting it onto a really decent background. I've got some ideas that I'd like to do, because I want to try and incorporate these acrylic paintings that I'm doing with my actual drawings. So I'm going to be looking at ways to incorporate the two together, to combine my work, and you know, I want to sort of do something a little bit different, rather than just like, you know, the paint pours and stuff. There we go. By the way, just to let you know, these pens that I'm using, these are like a calligraphy pen, and because they've got 2 different tips. One's like a thick tip, like almost like a brush tip, and the other end is a fine, I think it's a 0.7 or 0.5, I can't remember, tip. These are for like detail work, you know. Really easy, nice to use. I've got a set, and in the set you get this little lot. You get quite a few pens in there. You know, you don't have to go mad buying the best brand out there. Just buy what you feel is comfortable, really. All the pens that you can get nowadays, they're all quite decent, but it's just personal preference and what you can afford, you know, at the end of the day. You know, if you're doing your artwork, you can use anything really. Okay, we're coming over now. I've done quite a lot round this leg, and I don't really want to do too much more. I'm just sort of doing very gentle sort of brush strokes, as you can see. I'm hardly touching the paper. But what I want to try to do is like so you got to know when to stop, because you really can overdo it. Yeah, so as I say, you know, about the pens, pens and pencils and that sort of thing. I've got a whole array of different pens that I like to use, and you know, especially if you're doing like characters and that sort of thing, you try and sort of match up the colours to help you to sort of like emphasize the characters or whatever it is that you're drawing. Getting them as close, getting the colours as close as possible, because you tend to find that sometimes you'll buy a red pen, for instance, and it's more orange than the actual pen red that you're looking for, and then you'll find like a deep maroon is the red that you've been looking for. So it's kind of like every brand is different. So yeah, it's always worth, when you're going out looking to buy pens and whatever, try before you buy. Do not buy them if you haven't tried them, because you may get home and then realise, you know, it's not the colour or the shade that you wanted. So try them out, take a sample with you of the colours that you're looking for when you go to the shop to buy these art pens or whatever it is that you're buying. It's always worth looking and buying what you're looking for. It's like Polychromos pencils, fantastic to use, very soft, but again, there are so many types of colours, like different shades. I remember when I first bought, I could only afford a few at a time, because they're like, again, they're like, I think they were either £3 something 95 or £4.95 a pencil. I mean, there's no joke, there's a lot of money. By the time you've got the whole set, you've spent, and I'm not joking when I say this, look it up on Amazon or whatever. Polychromos pencils, they're like 400 quid a set, you know, just for a set of pencils. But again, if they're the tools of your trade and you're doing stuff every day and you're using those kinds of things, then it's an investment. It's like any trade that you've got, you spend the money on the equipment, because you need the best. But if you're doing this just as a hobby, I wouldn't recommend spending that kind of money. You can get something just as good or close as, but like I say, definitely try it before you buy, because you'll end up going home and kicking yourself, going, oh well, why didn't I sort of try it out, and it isn't the shade that he was looking for. So well worth bearing that in mind. Okay, right, so now we've come across, we've done all across this side, we're moving over onto the other side. Again, I'm not being too finicky about it. I'm trying to sort of be a little bit free with the way that I'm drawing and going over these lines, and it is very gentle. I mean, you could probably hardly notice anything that I've done on the drawing, but when you look at it and it's in front of you, it makes a big difference just by using a fine highlighter pen or liner pen. So yeah, it's all just delicate work. Just take your time, enjoy the process. As I say, we've got plenty of time on our hands, and it's times like these that you're never going to get again. So make the most of it and do something that you enjoy doing. It doesn't have to be art, it could be whatever you fancy doing. You know, use the time, keep your mind busy, keep yourself away from, you know, things that bring negativity. There's so much of that going around at the moment, and which is why it's always a good thing to have something to like turn yourself to and focus on, especially this time at the moment. If you're hearing any noises in the background, I do apologise. I've got both my daughters at home and my wife is currently working in the room next door to me. So I'm out in my little studio, my little makeshift studio. As I say, this is ideal for me. It's a nice little escape, little room to get out and do what I enjoy doing. And I tend to spend a few hours at a time out here. I try not to sort of take too much time out, because obviously there are things that life unfortunately wants us to do other things, and takes us away from what we enjoy doing. But as I say, we've got plenty of time at the moment. But yeah, if you do go on my Facebook or my Instagram or whatever, please do feel free, leave any comments, or you know, if you like the video, please like it and share it. You know, it's just nice to get a bit of feedback, and you know, and it just enables me to sort of like get a feel for what people would like to see me do. If there's stuff like a drawing or a picture or something that you'd like to see me do, you know, I will certainly entertain that, and I'll be more than happy to oblige. But yeah, your feedback it'll be absolutely wonderful to hear from you guys. You know, any comments would be wonderful and most appreciated, especially at the moment, because we're not able to see anyone and physically get out to talk to people, so you know, it's all good. It'd be nice. Okay, right, we're coming on to the little bow on the end of Eeyore's tail. I'm just literally touching in little areas. I'm not going mad. Again, this is all about just defining. I'm going to stop, have a quick look, take my spectacles off. Yeah, it's starting to stand out more now. You can see the difference. It's starting to stand out now. Like I say, not a thick pen, but I'm just bringing up detail that would not ordinarily stand out with just your ordinary pencils, and if you used a thick pen, it really would take it away from the idea that it was a pencil drawing. But yeah, it'd be interesting to actually see what people would like to see me draw or do. I'll leave it in your hands. As well, I'm holding a raffle at the moment, and for one of my paintings. It's a beautiful painting that I've done about 2 weeks ago now, and we're doing a live draw on Facebook. So yeah, if anyone's interested and they'd like to sort of enter, you can enter by just leaving a comment on my Facebook page, Eon's Art Designs on Facebook. Basically what I'm doing is it's £2 a name. I'm going to do a live draw, so you can sort of put in as much as you want to, you know, put your name in, and then I'll be doing a live draw, and whoever's the lucky winner will get one of my paintings. As I say, it's worth about 35, 45 pound, I think, something like that. It's a lovely painting. I think it's a 40 by 30 centimetre painting on canvas. You can actually look on my Facebook page and you see all the details on there. And the method is that if you want to join, just drop me a line, and there is a PayPal link on there, so you can enter by just paying the £2 via the PayPal link. And if you do wish to join, good luck, and your name will be called if you pull it out of the hat. So we'll be doing that. I'm waiting for a few more people, because at the moment we've only got, I think, 5 tickets sold, which is great, and you know, really pleased that they're going, but we need a minimum of 10 people or 10 tickets. So yeah, be great if you could enter. As I say, it'd be well worth it. Okay, right, what I'm going to do in here, because I've just used mainly pencil, I'm going to just do the wispy bits really. You can hear the pen actually as I'm drawing. I'm putting a little bit more weight on the actual tip, but not too much, because I want to sort of wisp this up a little bit more. Feather it out is the word. Make it look softer, because that's basically what we're trying to do. Make him look a little bit more cute than he is. As I say, I don't want to do too much and ruin it. I mean, as a kid, you done it yourself. I used to sit there and draw all these Disney characters, and I used to love it. I'd spend hours, you know, just sitting in my room drawing, or wherever I was at the time. I'd be, you know, grandparents or whatever. And I'd always have a pad and pens and pencils left there, so when I was over there I had things, drawings and that I'd continue to finish. So yeah, I used to love that. Okay. We're starting to sort of come to an end of these lines now. I don't want to do too much with it. And you'll note that I haven't signed this purely because this, although I've drawn it, is not my work. I've copied this, and if I sign this, I'm breaking the law. So this is dedicated, or will be dedicated, to the artist. And so it will be sent out without my signature on it. Really gentle. Starting to ruin it there. I'm sure there's many of you out there that can probably do a drawing better than I can. So, you know, I'll do it for the fun. I'll do it for the entertainment and keep myself busy. So, you know, negative comments, you know what, it doesn't bother me. It really doesn't bother me. I don't bite. I'm sure people can see that there's family members or whatever, or friends that they know that can draw a lot better than the drawings that I do. But like I say, I do it for my own leisure. Okay, right. Anyway, there we are. It's starting to stand out now, and it's looking quite nice. I think I'm going to wrap it up there and just leave as is, because I don't want to do any more to it. Otherwise I'll end up ruining it if I haven't done that already. But yeah, so thanks guys, appreciate your time watching, and hope you enjoyed the video. Please feel free to leave any comments, or if you've got anything that you'd like to see me draw, or you know, ideas that you'd like me to do, Marvel, whatever, Disney, you know, you name it, just give me a shout, leave a message, and hopefully we'll see whether I can get some time to do it. But again, we are having a draw for one of my paintings, so it's exciting. It'd be good to see who wins. If you want to enter, just go on my Facebook page, have a look, and go from there, you know, use the PayPal. But thanks for your time. Enjoy, have a great time this evening, as I have, and hopefully see you next time round. Take care. Bye for now.